Next game up, we're gonna have Raiders versus Never Scared. Raiders are coming in off of a loss to the Monarchs, and Never Scared is coming in off of a loss to BG. This Raiders team's offense is their biggest Achilles heel. They haven't been able to change around the game from the beginning of the season and show a consistency on the offense. Now, this defense is great, but when you put too much on the defense, eventually they're gonna break. They're top defense. They're the best defense in the league, numbers-wise, as far as points given up. But the offense is one of the worst. They're at least the bottom three in the UFL. And it's tough to continue to win games when you have absolutely no offense. And the last two games they played, they have not scored, both losses.
And like you just said, you made the good point that a defense, no matter how good they are, is going to fall apart when they're putting too much when there's too much pressure and on them, and when they spend so much time on the field. When your offense doesn't score, that means that the defense has to spend more time on the field. It exhausts them after a while. They start to fall apart. They start to make mistakes. And then they're not motivated to play as well. Their morale goes down when their offense is struggling. So all of their hard work goes for naught when the offense isn't able to capitalize. Eventually, the defense starts falling apart. And that's exactly what you started to see happen. In that last game, they gave up 2 touchdowns, but that's all that matters because they couldn't score. So no matter what the defense is doing, it's not going to be enough for them to win games, and it's showing with the last couple games that they played.
And on the other side, listen, Never Scared is definitely a dangerous team. Um, they have a top 5 offense. They do not have a great defense. They get Chris back coming off an injury. Travis is coming off an injury. So they've been a little banged up, but they get them back. Chris is also back at quarterback. We've seen Fred go last week. And this team is very dangerous. I think it all comes down to making key stops and trying not to turn the ball over offensively. This team has a lot of weapons, and this is a good test for them playing a top defense this week. Even though that top defense doesn't have 2 of the best defensive players in Santana or Ice, who won't be here today, but at the end of the day, this is still a Raiders defense that's capable of making stops.
But we got to mention one thing. Never Scared, I think, statistically has the worst defense in the league. So that's something that also comes into play in this game. Even though Raiders are a terrible offense, they're facing against the worst defense in the league right now, stats-wise. So having guys like Chris, having guys like Travis back in the game is huge for them because those are their playmakers. Travis being their number 1 pick. So he's going to be there to grab attention on defense. And Chris having some MVP-like numbers, playing well on both sides of the field. These are guys that's much needed on the field. And to have them both back is going to be a big boost to the team. We just got to see if it's going to matter when they get on the field.
We're going to jump right into the game. Third down after 2 short passes, Angels blitzed by Mays. Blocked by Rob. Angel throws to Brian in the middle. Picked off by Chris, who runs it back into the end zone for the touchdown. Chris gets the extra point. 7-0. Never Scared. And look, nobody's open short. Chris jumps and makes a play after coming off an injury. They're happy to have him back, especially on the side of the ball, which they don't play great. When you have a guy like Chris taking pick sixes back, that's definitely a great play. Touchdown. Never Scared.
And the main thing that you did not mention, which is the key to this play, is that blitz by Mays. Mays pushing, even though Rob was able to make the block, the fact that Mays is able to push him back is giving enough pressure for Angel to make the throw, to force him to make that throw. So because Mays brings the pressure, it makes that throw happen and gives Chris opportunity to make a play and run into the end zone. That's a great blitz by Mays there.
4th down after 2 short passes, Angels the throw to JR in the middle, knocked away by Travis, turnover on downs. That is 2 huge stops. That is defense that we definitely don't give a lot of credit to because usually they're bad. But 2 back-to-back stops, way to get the momentum on the defensive side of the ball.
But listen to what happened in these 2 plays. The first one, interception by Chris, having some great numbers on both sides of the ball. Then you have a knockdown pass by Travis, their number one A play, their number one draft pick. So these guys are stepping in on the field and becoming factors right off of the gate. And this is something that Never Scared needs on defense. When you have these guys performing this way, they are a much better defense for it.
Never Scared can't move the ball, and they're going to end up punting. Angel gets the ball with 2 passes on the sideline for a decent gain. Third down, Angel was blitzed and sacked by Germ. Raiders have to punt. And this defense is looking amazing right now for Never Scared.
You don't give them, like, your favorite thing is giving them a cookie and all of that. Like, I'm going to take your thing. You're not going to give them a cookie because the Raiders have one of the worst offenses in the league right now. So it's not much to stop them, especially when you put pressure on Angel. That's all you got to do. Angel's been struggling to get time in the pocket throughout the season. So as long as you blitz him and put pressure on him, you're going to find ways to make stops, and that's exactly what they've been doing here.
Second down, Chris is blitzed by Mo, who's blocked by Ricky. Chris goes deep to Germ, open on the sideline, who runs it in for a touchdown. If you look here, the well is watching the quarterback. Never sees Germ on the sideline. Bob gets the sack on extra point, but it's 13-0. It's scared.
And one thing I gotta say is, look at this block by Ricky. Mo comes in for the blitz, and Ricky just tosses him to the side. I mean, that just shows that when Ricky's in the blocking position, there's but so much you can do to get through this man. I don't know anybody who's ever really figured out how to get by him, and that's when you're able to get time. Chris in the pocket, comfortable. He's able to find Germ downfield for the score. When Chris is comfortable in the pocket, he is a scorer through and through. No matter what team he plays on, he finds ways to score. And this is yet another time where he shows he's able to do just that.
Raiders get the ball back after getting the first down. Angel throws an elbow in the back for a decent game. Third down, Angel throws to Brian open on the sideline, getting to the 15-yard line. Last down, Angel throws a Brian in the back of the end zone, knocked away by Travis again. Turnover on downs, and they stop him again. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna lie. Raiders are shorthanded. They don't got their guys. But if you couldn't score when you was at full staff, imagine scoring when you're at half a staff or more than half a staff. And that's what's going on. This offense is not good from the beginning. And they're going to be even worse when they're shorthanded, Never Scared of taking advantage, and never stop.
But one person that they do miss in terms of him either being here or being a factor on the field is Will. Will was one of their main guys playing on both sides of the ball. You haven't seen him have such a hot season this year. You barely heard his name. And them missing that level of play is a big factor as well. So these things come back to haunt you when you don't have these things needed in the game, and it's hurting them right now.
Third down, after 2 short passes, Chris throws deep to Rara in the gap for a big game, picking up the first down. If you look here, there's no communication on the defense, and it's 6 seconds left. Last play to have, Chris with blocker from Ricky finds Travis cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Frank gets a 2-point conversion, 21-0 going into the half.
And the key to this is yet again Ricky at the block, protecting Chris, keeping him in the pocket, and keeping them giving them that extra time to find Travis in the back in the front of the end zone. I don't care who you are. When you're given enough time, you're gonna find ways to get open. This time it's Travis, but it doesn't matter. Give a receiver as much time as they need. They're gonna find a way to get open. So this is exactly what happened. A good defense, doesn't matter. You give this quarterback time, and he's gonna find a way to get in the end zone, and he does just that before the half.
And if I'm the Raiders, listen, at the end of the day, we know we're shorthanded. We expected tough things to be rough. They're smacking us around. They're bullying us. They're doing everything they want to do against us. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm short, but I'm still a man. That's all. I'm still a man. I refuse to let anybody bully me or think they're going to just smack us around and do nothing. We were labeled one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and we've been falling lately. So I don't care who's not here, who's under the bus, who's across the bridge, who's across the street. I don't care about none of that. I'm just caring about my guys on the field and trying to make this at least a competitive game in the second half.
And when it comes to Never Scared, like I said earlier, they statistically have the worst, if not one of the worst, if not the worst defense in the league right now. But it's not looking like that the way that they've been playing in this game. And that's because they have a lot of their playmakers being a factor on this team. And the main thing is their blitz. When they're able to put pressure on the quarterback, it elevates their defense that much more. And that's exactly what's been happening. On the offensive side, you see Ricky's presence being felt on the field with him giving Chris that extra time in the pocket.
Correct.
And again, Chris is a person that can make plays on his feet. He can make plays on the rollout. He can run for some big yardage. But he doesn't have to do that when he has Ricky blocking in the pocket. He has to just take his time, find the open receiver, and he's able to do just that twice in the first half to get them a big lead here.
We're going to jump into the second half. We're never scared getting the ball. Third down after a short pass, Chris with blocking from Ricky runs in the gap for a nice gain. If you look here, Ara's flag for the block in the back. That's going to push him 10 yards back. Never scared has to punt. What do you think of the play?
And obviously, just based on what happened, that flag killed that drop because they were on the move. That was a big play right there. Unfortunately, Ra trying to protect the guy running the ball gets caught for a block in the back. Yes, it's a merited call. He did get him late with the block in the back. That's unfortunate. And because of that, they weren't able to get enough yards and they forced the punt.
They just get the ball back. After getting the first down, Angel throws short to JR, who runs for a decent gain. Third down, Angel on forward, open draw in the gap. That's going to be dropped. They just have to punt. Let me say something. Joel's not an offensive player. Nah, that's what he does. Now I got pass catcher. As you see, he dropped this ball. It's short, but guys got to make plays. I don't care what side of the ball you are. I don't care if you're a punter. I don't care if it's the coach Bills himself. Somebody has to make the play. Don't put it all on Angel when you guys are not helping them by making plays. That is a big drop by their captain, and they're going to have to punt. Definitely got to find a way to help. Doesn't on that drive. After getting the first down, Chris goes deep to Rob open on the sideline for a nice gain. Second down, Chris is blitzed and sacked by Rob. Third down, Chris on four rush throws the pass, but is blocked by Simon at the giver. Never scared has to punt. Raiders get the ball back, and unfortunately, they can't get a first down, which is going to end the game 21-0. Never scared comes away with the win.
And this was never scared game from the very beginning. They had the momentum in the beginning. They said their offense kind of slowed down, after the two scores that they had in a row. But I think that they were confident that their defense was going to hold, and they did just that. They did just enough to get the lead, and it was over from there. I believe that the momentum started with that huge interception run back by Chris. That, I believe, elevated the team, and that gave everybody, enough motivation to play at their highest right there. So when you make plays on both sides of the ball, it makes everybody better. It pumps them up, and it makes them push harder. And that's exactly what happened with Never Scared. The Raiders are not able to respond because of the elevated play by Never Scared. They show all their potential in this game. Do they have the best defense in the league? No, they don't. But they have guys that can make plays. They put pressure on the quarterback. They have secondary to the lockdown of receivers, and they made plays on defense. Offense, what else can I say? They were one of the best deep offenses in the league, number one at one time, and they show that they have the opportunity to score when they need to. They scored twice. That was enough. It was pretty much enough to get the game, to win this game. And what else can I say? This is just a good game for Never Scared.
Raiders was short, but they have 3 games where they didn't score a touchdown. What this offense looked like in the beginning of the season, they still look like now, and they look worse. They got to find a way to make plays. Angel's capable of scoring, but not scoring on a high level. But they knew that. They knew that coming into the season, it was going to be like that. They lean on their defense. Santana Ice wasn't here. I don't think Never Scared would have had it so easily on the offensive side of the ball had them 2 guys been here. But at the end of the day, Raiders still have not figured out their identity. They don't know if they want to be a downfield team. They don't know if they want to pick them up. They have no idea who they are. And until you figure out who you are offensively, it's going to put more pressure than your defense. Raiders look like a championship team, and now they look like a team that's destined to go 1 round and out. 1 round in the ring, knockout, leaving early.
Listen, I can't really kill the defense in this game. They kind of it seems like they just ran out of steam, towards the end of the first half because all of the points came in the first half. They gave away 2 touchdowns and that was it for them. Their offense has to show life. They have to. It is what it is. Guys got to step up and make these things happen. Yes, they were short today, but it doesn't make any difference between this game and the last game they didn't score. It's no real difference. So they got to show life. They got to change their strategy because right here, no matter what they've been doing, it's not working. Rob got to step up and protect Angel in the pocket. Angel should not be running for his life on certain plays where he has to be comfortable in the pocket. Angel got to look, span the field, and find these receivers. And these guys on offense have to prevent themselves from dropping passes. And like you said, they could be a one and done team. And it's the worst thing that could happen for a team that has so much potential.
And the day, just to piggyback, shout out to Tiki, and they definitely have a competitive team. Now they don't. One week they look one way, another
Yeah.
week they look another way. This team is capable of knocking any team, not only in their division, in the league out, if they play on this caliber. Especially once they get Dave back. We all know Dave, mom passed away. So, he hasn't been here in a few weeks. But once they get him back, this team is even more dangerous. If they can get the defense playing like this, led by they gotta be most improved player candidate and possible MVP candidate Chris. This
Yeah.
team is dangerous. We expected Travis Clay to jump out. It has, but Chris has just been playing on another level. This
Yeah.
guy is so buried under this Super Friends roster. When you have all guys, including guys like Travis playing on this team, that you did not get an opportunity to see what this kid really could do. And he showed the potential of at least being an MVP candidate, if not a guaranteed most improved player.
Yeah.
We'll wrap this one up. Never scared coming away with the shutout win on Raiders, 21-0. We'll be right back.
2, 1, and 4.
Hey, don't jump.
Next game up, we're going to have UTF facing the defending UFL champions, Rep City. UTF coming off of a loss to 99, and Rep City's coming off of a loss to Bravio. Now listen, Rep City's the defending champs. They played up, but mostly down.
Mm-hmm.
But this team is still dangerous come playoff time. I've seen this team eliminate 99 when they were a number 1 seed coming off of a bye. I've seen this team last season eliminate 99. They eliminated UTF, and who was the number 1 seed, and they eliminated the league MVP and the number 1 division in the West, Grind Time. So this Rep City team is formidable. Now, I think they take games seriously, but they're not taking everything seriously because it seems we're worried about the playoffs. But when they got all their chips there in the card game, they always have an opportunity to win. They're never going to cheat you. They're never going to cheat the people watching. They're always going to try their best to win the game. But unfortunately, it doesn't always turn out that way.
And this season, I believe their main reason why they've been playing not as good as they could is because of attendance. A lot of guys haven't been able to make regular games. Wesley, that's not able to make every game when it matters. You have Hood that has the same issue. 2 guys that are big factors on his team. You have everybody else. Sometimes these guys fight with each other. Sometimes they did it last season. But this is the regular when it comes to Rep City. You don't know what team you're going to get which week. You have a team that can contend with a team that's, formidable. Then you have a team that's struggling to beat a team with 6 guys. So, you don't know which Rep City team you're going to get. But one thing you're going to get is a team that always finds ways to make things happen, regardless of the situation. And right here, even though they're short this game, I don't think that it matters because they're always going to find ways to make things happen. They always find ways to do it, and I don't think this is going to make any difference.
And then on the other side, you got UTF. UTF is definitely was one of the most exciting teams at the beginning of the season, going 5-0, but now they lost their last 2 games. This is a must win because not only did they lose their last 2 games, they haven't scored in their last 2 games, and that has to be a concerning thought. Their coach is serving a 1 game suspension for being frustrated last week,
Yeah.
and with a ref saying some things that he shouldn't have said, so he got suspended. Bottom line, this team is up in the air. They could be a championship team, or they could be a team that loses in the first round. They still struggle with the same problem they had last year, and that's leadership.
And that's unfortunate because they have this team this team has so much talent on this team on both sides of the ball. The thing about it is the fact that they don't have consistent leadership, guys that take charge, keep guys calm, keep guys focused. Because they've never really been known to have that. I think that that's their one Achilles heel. No matter who's quarterbacking, whether it's Jeremy, whether it's Ramsey, doesn't matter. They always have the same issue, and it comes back to bite them in the end. So right here, it's starting to hurt them in the middle of the season. Jeremy had some numbers out the charts, but in the last 2 games, they couldn't even score a touchdown. That is worrying when you're a team like UTF that went 5-0, and now they're losing the last 2. So they got to figure out what's going to happen. They're playing a team like Rep City that you don't know which team you're going to get. But this has to be the game where they show that recovery and get things together and get things back in the pace that they need to get it.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game with Rep City getting the ball. Hood is not here, so Tess is going to get the start. After getting the first down, Tess on 4 rush, throws in the middle, pass is blocked by Josh. Third down, blocking by Pete. Tess throws a cello in the gap, getting him to the 25-yard line. Fourth down, Tess throws short to D-Boy, who gets stopped at the 7-yard line. That's going to be a turnover on downs. Big stop by the UCF defense.
And this is them right away showing the opportunity, showing that they can make a stop early in the game. That's exactly what you need to do to get your offense on foot. You make a good defensive play, get them on the field early, and hopefully they iron out the kinks that they have in the last 2 games.
UTF gets the ball back. Third down after a short run. Jeremy is blitzed by Meach, who's blocked by G. Throws to Josh in the gap. That's going to be dropped. They're going to have to punt. Remember, their defense just came away with a crucial stop, and unfortunately, offense, who has been struggling, can't help out the defense by making a play. They're going to have to punt. Rep City gets the ball. Tess with 3 short passes, hitting the team to the 10-yard line. Then Tess tries to find Cello in the end zone. That's going to be knocked away. Turnover on downs. Big stop by UTF.
And this is Rep City not able to capitalize. Their defense has been holding the UTF offense. They had a good defensive drive there, but they're not able to capitalize after getting the first down. They get to the 10-yard line, and then they have no other options. Either it's because, nobody else was able to break away from the defense, or Tess was not able to find anybody here. I think that because of the pressure on 4 rush, he wasn't able to make an accurate throw. By the time he's rolling right, the only person he saw was Cello, and he's not able to make that throw happen. That's just good defense by UTF.
UTF gets the ball back. Jeremy, with blocking from G, runs in the gap for a nice game. This is a great play. They've been running this play all season. This is a designed running play. Great play for a big game. Third down after a short pass. Jeremy with blocking from G. Throws to Ricky in the gap. Tipped by A-Rob. Incomplete. UTF has to punt for the second time. That is another big stop by Rep City, but this UTF offense is struggling. Rep City gets the ball back. They're going to struggle to get a first down and get stopped at the 40-yard line. Turnover on downs. Jeremy gets the ball back. He's going to run in the middle for a decent game. Clock is moving. Third down, Jeremy with blocking from Ricky and G. Throws a mom in the front of the end zone. Picked off by Rel. That's going to take us into the half 0-0. If you look, Jeremy rushes his throw, trying to force a touchdown pass. It gets picked off, taking us into the half 0-0.
But listen, on a play like this, I can't necessarily blame Jeremy because a lot of times he did have to worry about where the rush was coming from. A lot of times, G misses the block. Nobody was able to give Jeremy enough time to make things happen. So, you know, this one he did rush, but maybe it's just because of reflexes of what didn't happen all season. That's unfortunate because it caused him not to get into the end zone. A couple more seconds and maybe it would have made a difference. But that's been more of the same with UTF's offense. Either Jeremy's running for his life under pressure, Jeremy's not necessarily making accurate throws, guys dropping passes, whatever bad things can happen with this UTF offense has been happening. So they got to step up. Besides Mamba and Randy, other guys got to step up and make things happen. Charles, Josh when he's on offense. A lot of these guys have to find ways to make things happen and make Jeremy's job easier. Right now, that's not the case in this first half, and they don't have no points on the board.
Rep City likes this. This is their type of game. They like this. They especially with D-Boy, they're under UTF's skin. So they are fine. And UTF does not have their coach on the sideline who's serving a suspension. But I don't think it would matter because this is why the team has lost 2 in a row. They're not adjusting. So if I'm Rep City, I like this type of game. Yeah, we've been stopped 3 times in a row, but we're going to get an opportunity. We'll be fine. We like when it gets nitty-gritty and dirty like this. We're going to jump into the second half. UCF gets the ball. Second half, Jeremy with blocking by G, scrambles and throws the G off target, incomplete. Third down with blocking from G. Third, Jeremy throws to Charles in the middle for a nice game. And this is what you're talking about. They got to get Charles involved in this offensive game. Definitely does there. After getting the first down, Jeremy on 4 rush throws to Randy in the middle for a nice game. Randy getting involved in this passing attack. We see them do it all season. Finally getting involved now as this offense has been struggling. Fourth down, Jeremy with blocking from G. Throws to Mamba in the front of the end zone. Knocked away by Rel. Turnover on downs. UCF stopped for the 4th time.
And listen, this was a good drive getting them towards the end, towards the red zone. But this is where Rep City's defense stepped up and made plays where it matters. They wait till 4th down to make some of their best plays. So, you saw guys like Charles, you saw guys like Randy. But when they go to that surefire Mamba, you have one of their best players on them to knock away the play. So Jeremy got to know that on plays like this, other people got to be involved because they already know what Mamba does. They know what Mamba does. He is an end zone player. Jeremy's been finding him in the end zone all season. So you're going to know that that's what he's going to. And Rel is able to be there to knock the ball away for the turnover.
Tess gets the ball back. With blocking from B-Dot, throws the seller in the gap for a decent game. Third down, Tess on 4 rush, throws a Debo in the middle, both incomplete. Rep City has to punt. Tess still doesn't look comfortable, not really able to move the ball like they would like, and unfortunately, it gets stopped again. Jeremy gets the ball back. First down, Jeremy throws a Buto on the sideline, caught but out of bounds. Second down, Jeremy throws deep to Randy in the gap, overthrown, incomplete. Third down, Jeremy with blocking from G, throws a Gaka in the middle for a nice game, getting to the 45-yard line. Fourth down, Jeremy is blitzed by Meach. Jeremy rolls right, throws a G, incomplete, turnover on downs, and that gets the ball back to Rep City. Now, the reason we showed all the plays on that drive is because, UTF was frustrated. They argued, they yelled, and they was upset with the official because they felt that Rep City blitzed twice. Once again, UTF was wrong. They did not. Rep City blitzed one time, which was the one that Meach came in, and like I said, they were wrong. UTF is so used to blaming everybody for their own shortcomings that they find an excuse for why they made a mistake. And once again, it's the 3rd time this season, they were wrong and they get stopped.
And this is just them not paying attention to what's going on in this drive. Now, yes, I understand that you want to have the refs on task, making the right calls. But if you're not paying attention to what's going on in the drive, it's nobody's fault but yours. How you don't know that they're coming with the blitz? You got to know when they're putting pressure in, when they're coming putting pressure in. And G was one of the main guys yelling that they blitzed twice when they didn't. So that shows that you're getting caught off guard by whatever Rep City's doing, that you don't know when the blitz is coming. Because you got to know if they did and if they didn't. They get caught with their pants down in this play, and that's when they end up turning over the ball. They just gotta admit that they got caught with their pants down and just keep it moving because that's exactly what happened.
0-0, Rep City gets the ball. Test with 2 runs in the gap for a decent game. 4th down at the 20-yard line. Test with on 4 rush, throws an A-Rod, cutting in the back of the end zone. Caught. It's both feet down for the touchdown. 6-0. Rep City takes the lead. And the question was he in bounds?
And looking at this play, I'm gonna slow it down. First of all, snow's on the field and everything like that, so this is gonna be a hard play to review because it was right at the edge of the end zone. If you look at his feet, it looks like he gets 1 foot down. It looks like he scrapes the other foot down as he makes the catch and slide and gets forced out of bounds. So this play was a play that in the playoffs would be challenging, but with the evidence that's shown on the field, I don't know if it's enough to overturn a touchdown call. So I think that this is going to be a touchdown regardless of what we think, because that's the first call on the field. That's too close to call, and it looks like Rep City gets that one in.
Yeah, it looks like that's one of those plays that could have gone either way. It's not a good call, not a bad call. It's a bang call. Even if it was challenged, which it could be in the playoffs, I think it's not enough evidence to turn over the call either way. If it was called out, it's not enough evidence to turn it over. If it was called in, there's not enough evidence to turn it over. So it just went in. So that's still a great play. Still great play by possibly their all-star A-Rod making a great play, which is what he's been doing all season. UTF gets the ball, and unfortunately, once again, they struggle to move the ball, and they're going to have to punt. Rep City gets the ball back. Remember, it's 6-0 Rep City. Test on 4 rush is sacked by Randy while the clock is running. 3rd down, Test with blocker from Cello. Throws a deep ball on the sideline. Picked off by Mamba, giving him the ball back. If you look here, A-Rod is open on the other side. They're going to get the ball 4 and out. Great play by Mamba on the defensive side of the ball, making the play.
And this is one thing that I've had criticism of Tess for a long time. He's a capable backup quarterback, but he's not a quarterback that's able to read the defense properly and know where guys are going to line up, where guys are going to cheat, and where guys are going to break to the ball. He doesn't see that Mamba's in the vicinity to make a play here. He makes this throw, not seeing to Debo, not knowing that Mamba's waiting for that pass. He comes up and snatches it right out the air. That's just a mistake towards the end of the game, a mistake that you do not need to make. There's an opportunity for UTF to take the lead right back. Give it to them by Tess making that one mistake on the field.
UTF gets the ball. Jeremy runs in the middle for a decent gain. 3rd down, Jeremy on 4 rush, throws the pass in the middle, knocked away by A-Rod. The D-boys flag for cursing, 15 yards. That's going to take us a 4th down. Jeremy is blitzed by B-Dot, who's blocked by G. Jeremy throws a Mamba in the front of the end zone, knocked away by Debo. Rep City comes away with the win, 6-0, and beat UTF.
First of all, I'm going to say this. Whoever's taking charge of Rep City right now, they need to tie D-Boy up and gag him. That's exactly what they need to do, because this could have been how they lost this game. This could have been the way they gave away this game, because D-Boy does not know when to be quiet when the game is on the line. We've seen him do this before, and they've lost playoff games because of it. So these guys got to learn towards the end of the game, on a close game, tie D-Boy up and gag him. Take him to the sideline. Get him out of the play. Please get him out of the play.
All right.
But regardless of what, they were able to hold. They were able to hold on defense. And the main thing is they were able to follow where Mamba's lining up on this play. They know that Mamba is Jeremy's last target. He is there. He is pretty much his safety valve. He is pretty much that guy he's going to go to when all the chips are down. So they know to lock him up. They know to have at least 2 guys where Mamba's at. They get a knockdown with Rel early in the game, and they do the same thing when Jeremy goes back to him on a 4th down play here, and they're able to knock away the play. The same thing that happened, that worked early in the game, is the same way they end up winning the game by, with some good defense, knowing where the best player is, knowing where the main factor is, and shutting them down here. That's exactly what they do to win the game.
UTF has lost their 3rd game in a row. Now, I'm going to get on a few things that why I think that they're in trouble.
Mhm.
First of all, now they must win their last game of the season in order to win a division because the Monarchs won on a forfeit. Gators forfeited to Monarchs. So right now, Monarchs are up by 1 win on UTF. 1 game.
Mhm.
If UTF wins their next game, they lock for 1. They lose, a lot of things could change. So there's a few issues I have with that. First of all, their defense have played well. I'm gonna look. First
Mhm.
of all, their defense have played well in the last 3 games, 3 losses. The last since they gave up 26 points to the Monarchs, their last the last game they won, the defense have given up 6, 7, and 6. So they gave up 26, their last win of the season, and in their last 3, they gave up less than they gave up in that 1 game in 3 games combined. That's a great defense. So that means what? The problem is the offense. There's a few things going on. Jeremy had 12 touchdowns in those 5 games when they went 5-0. In their last 3 games, he has thrown none. Do you know Mike from Don't Sleep, Tess from Rev City, Nelson from the Gators, and Asa from Braulio have thrown more touchdown passes in that span combined more than Jeremy. They have thrown 5 touchdowns. And though in that gap that Jeremy has lost 3 games, those 4 quarterbacks have thrown 5 touchdowns combined. You know what's funny about that statistic?
What was that?
All the 4 quarterbacks are backups.
Mm.
So Jeremy has gotten outplayed by 4 backup quarterbacks who has thrown more touchdowns combined in that span of games than Jeremy has thrown in his last 3, and they all are backup, which means they're not starters, which means they're only in because the starter's not here.
Mm.
That's an issue. That's one. Number 2, I love the fact that my man Josh follows the show, said that I need to go back to being the way I was before. I'm being a little too nice, which is why I kind of went back to my old self. And shout to him, I appreciate it. UTF is struggling with having a leader. And I'm going to tell you the biggest issue. Jeremy is your starting quarterback. The main mistake this team made is by putting him on the defensive side of the ball. I told you I hate that. I hate when quarterbacks play both sides of the ball because after you make a mistake, you can't readjust your mind to know the mistake you made because you're jumping back on the field. You can't adjust because you can't catch your composure because you're too busy on the field. Now, I seen UTF, like I said, this is the 3rd time they got it wrong. You've seen UTF get mad on this play here when they thought it was a dirty hit by Damo, which they were wrong. Blame the officials. You've seen UTF get upset on the play here when they thought Shannon didn't get the first down when it was clearly he did. Blame the officials. And then you see UTF get upset saying that Rep City blitzed twice on this drive when it's clear they didn't. They only blitzed once, but they blame the officials. These are all the blame games. Usually teams that don't have leaders to take responsibility are the teams that blame everybody. The biggest issue is your starting quarterback, who is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league, has an issue with being a leader. I'm going to tell you why. On that YMM team, Jeremy is one of the best players, but he has Brandon, Rico, Hannah, Corey, all around him. So he's not the guy making all Tanner, Slutty. I'm sorry if I forgot those guys. He's not the guy making all the major things and saying the major thing that's going on. Now that Jeremy is your best player, it's his show, and it's not working. Because now all you did was, especially now, Randy, Mamba, Daka, Buto, those are all your soldiers. But Jeremy is now your general. So you don't have no generals in Atana, Slutty, Rico. You don't have your generals. So now once Jeremy, who is your best player, is your general, you're going to have chaos. Which is what's going on with this team. Flo, who served a suspension on something that he did, is also not adjusting to help this team win. Now they were getting away with walk-offs, still it's more exciting. Now they have opportunity to lose this division. Let me tell you about, I'm a basketball guy. And I'm going to tell you why this reflects on what happens in basketball. Ron Artest, great defender, great player, had to calm himself down and play discipline when he played with what? Who? Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant. They won a title. Leader. Rasheed Wallace, top player, great defender, went to Detroit, played with guys like Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, a team that you really like, Detroit Pistons. Richard Hamilton had leaders around him, won a championship. Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna go to
Bulls.
Rodman. Yep.
Went to the Bulls. Top player, great defender. Had Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen around him. Won a title. Correct?
Yeah.
All those players that play on a high intensity level, similar to Jeremy, had guys around them willing to control the chaos. There's nobody here doing it. That's why Mike moved up in the draft to draft Chuck or Corey, because it wasn't a lack of talent, it's a lack of leadership. It's funny that the same man that they said was causing them the issue.
Okay.
It's funny that the same man that they said was causing them the issues is now on the first place team that has an opportunity to win the division, one offensive player of the year, possibly could win another offensive player of the year, and went to a team where he has not got upset all year, despite him making mistakes here or there. He was embraced, and he's successful with it. UTF going through the same thing they went through last season. The difference is they have never fallen. We've seen them win the way they won this season last year. They have never fallen the way they're falling now last season, because now the talent of Jeremy is not the talent of Ramsey, who can carry you. And the mistakes that Jeremy got away with here and there in the beginning of the season, he's not getting away with now. You said it yourself. He went to Mamba on 3 consecutive end zone plays, on 3 consecutive drives. Rel knocked one down, Rel got an interception, and Debo knocked one down. They knew where he was going. So they took away his best receiver, and he cannot adjust. And on the other side of the ball, they're not giving Randy, who was possibly going to be the defensive player of the game, of the league, a chance to get these interceptions where he does what? Help this team build momentum. That's why they lost 3-0.
And I think one thing that you got to also say is, and again, you pointed this out early in your whole, opinions about UTF. You mentioned that, that you that you don't like Jeremy playing defense. You don't like that when they switched and made him their main A player. Now he's playing defense and offense. But if you notice, if you remember correctly, what was the week this season that they made that decision to make to make Jeremy their complete A player? What was it?
I believe it was the Monarchs game.
Yes. But if you remember correctly, that was the last game that they won. As soon as they started putting him on defense, they lost all 3 games not scoring. So, like you said, because he's not able to focus on the defense, on the offense, and set up the offense properly, that's why they're getting thrown off. They haven't scored a touchdown since that game against the Monarchs.
Correct. Correct.
So you said that it hurts when the quarterback plays both sides of the ball. We're literally seeing that unfold with the numbers with UTF. It may hurt some quarterbacks more than others, but right now it's literally hurting Jeremy in the way that there's no way of arguing this point because it's exactly the way it is right now.
What quarterback in UFL has done that and been successful? Nobody.
None.
You can't. You see, UFL is a defensive league. Doesn't work here. Your quarterback has to be able to adjust and catch his composure, and he's not. It's not happening. So, as quick as they looked like they was going to be a team to get a bye, now they are playing on Saturday a must-win game, especially with Monarchs playing the first game of the day and them playing the last game. We're going to have to see how that goes. We're going to wrap this one up with Rep City coming away with the win, 6-0 over UTF. We're going to wrap up the show. First of all, we're going to wish you and yours a very blessed and Merry Christmas. From my family to you guys' family, enjoy. I'm very blessed. I'm blessed for my family. I'm definitely blessed for my kids, blessed for my wife. Definitely a great idea with this draft. Shouts to her. Shouts to everybody that support everything we do. And just we want to wish y'all a blessed and Merry Christmas. Your thoughts, Ghost?
I mean, I agree. You can't be thankful enough for all the blessings that we've been given, specifically just being here, being able to weather the storm that we've been going through this year. Very tough year for everybody. So, the fact that we're able to make it to Christmas and able to celebrate with our families, it's a blessing in and of itself. And that's why we want to, wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Hope that, family's safe and healthy. Make sure you enjoy every moment that you possibly can because you don't know what tomorrow holds. And that tomorrow holds, and that's any day. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas. It doesn't matter what it is. So appreciate the moments that we have and make the best of them. And that's why we hope that you enjoy your holidays, enjoy your Christmas, and hope to see you out there next week. We have I believe possibly the last game of the season, last week of the season.
Yeah. Yep.
So we just hope to see y'all guys out here. It's going to be a big week. A lot of teams waiting to see if they're going to be able to clinch the division. It's going to matter with the next game. So
yeah, everything will be decided Saturday.
Yes.
So I'm going to be out there with the book, figuring everything out so everybody knows. So I'm prepared for it.
Yes.
All right, guys. Much love to y'all. We're going to talk to y'all later. We see y'all on behalf of me, Stephen J., and my partner, Ghost. This is Real Tough Talk. We'll see y'all guys next week on our next episode. We're out of here. Much love to y'all.